All right, welcome back to another Doomsday's Krypt live stream. I'm here with Anthony Wojhoski. Well, you say it. John the Butcher, the last name Butcher.
Aaron Wojhoski.
Why do I have these tongue twister of last names? It seems everybody's got a tongue twister for me. They just want to make it hard. And like I'm a reader, and some of these names, it's if you try to read it and say it, it's just doesn't come
Yeah,
out right.
yeah, I know.
It,
When I was in
yeah,
school, the last thing I wanted to hear was substitute teacher because I knew they were going to try to say my last name.
we'll just call you Aaron W.
It works for me, man.
Well, you said it once, and I wrecked it. I destroyed it. Oh, hey, Sabana, Mira in USA. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Here live with Aaron. You can say your last name, so I don't butcher it.
Wojhoski.
No, I got you tongue twisting it.
Yeah, I know, and I've had it for 37 years.
All right, so hey, you kind of commented, you're like, oh, I'd come on, but you said you were working on scripts, and you got a podcast on Facebook, and you got a YouTube channel. You want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I live in Arkansas, and I started a podcast recently called the Horror Lives Here podcast. And it turns out after I got that name that there's another page on Facebook called Horror Lives Here. So luckily I put the and podcast at the end of it, so it's a little bit different. But the Horror Lives Here podcast. I don't really have a certain time that I do shows. I just whenever I can get them in, I get them in. But I like to bring on, especially here around Arkansas, local independent directors and actors and things like that, and just interview them about what they've done and what they're going to do. Basically anything horror related. I did a couple episodes where I ranked my favorite slasher movies, and so pretty much anything horror related, I'll talk about on the show. I started writing when I was just out of high school. I wrote a couple of, I say original because I wasn't trying to copy anybody else's stuff, but it turned out to be just a couple of basically generic slasher scripts, and didn't really do anything with them. And at this point, I'm working on a couple. I'm working on a couple of fan film scripts that I came up with. One of them
Nice.
is go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna ask. So fan film. What slasher you fan filming on?
So I got I'm working on one for Nightmare on Elm Street, which I've been working on for a couple of years, but it's a sequel to number 5 because 4 and 5 is probably two of my favorites. And so at the end of 5, we never see Alice, we never see Jacob, we never see her father. They all just kind of disappear. So I wanted to do kind of my own sequel to number 5 and bringing, even though that the chance of getting those actors are pretty slim, bringing those characters back and just sort of picking up where they left off, and just sort of seeing how it goes.
You'd be you'd be surprised though. A lot of them embrace it, like Beatrice Buckley, Amanda Kruger, which I'm sure you know well about.
Oh yeah,
She embraces her role. I love it. She dresses up like Amanda Kruger at conventions, and yeah, she's super cool. I think she's one of the nicest people out there that I've met, and yeah, I know she's working on a comic, like a story of Amanda Kruger, which I think is kind of cool. So a
that's
lot
cool,
of these Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5 characters, I guarantee you they surprisingly embrace the role a lot, especially nowadays. They see how loved their characters are, and I know it means a lot to them.
Yeah, I met Danny Hassel who played Dan at a
Yep.
convention a few years ago. He was cool as crap and really happy about the character. He wasn't exactly, he seemed kind of bummed that his character got killed off in part 5, but he was still excited. He's still happy about the character overall. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not saying that they wouldn't maybe embrace that. I'm just saying the odds of me being able to afford to get them to do a movie, to do a fan film, probably could never afford bringing those people back. But I wanted to at least bring the characters back, and then
Yeah.
just sort of see where sort of pick up. Jacob's a teenager, and he's starting to have these. Of course, he doesn't remember anything that happened because he was an unborn child in part 5. So he doesn't really remember what happened. But of course, Alice certainly does, as she starts to see changes in his behavior. He's starting to get less and less sleep and starting to get more and more worked up over something that's going on in his dreams. He doesn't know who it is or why. Kind of bring the hypnotist in. She's giving him that stuff to sort of keep his dreams from, sort of keep Freddy from his dreams. But he start, like in all the other movies, he quits taking them at a certain point, so Freddy's able to kind of slowly slip back into his world. That's something I came up with a couple of years ago,
That's
and I
kind of
just,
cool, though. I like it a lot more than Freddy's Dead concept that they had.
oh gosh, yes, that's my least favorite by far. It's not even close.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I'll
hate.
even take the remake over that one.
I will. Yeah, I will too. And then the
All right,
other
well,
one is a prequel to The Devil's Rejects. It's like a prequel to the Firefly trilogy. Um, Kind of showing where Mama Firefly, Captain Spaulding, how they kind of got together, where Otis came from, which is all based off stuff I've read from other fans that they've kind of come, other fan theories and stuff that even Rob Zombie said in other interviews and stuff like that. So I'm kind of just
that's
adding it
actually a
all
really
together
cool
and kind of making my
concept.
own little. Yeah,
And build your
I
own little
love those
fan
characters.
idea of how they became what they were. That's a pretty solid concept.
Thanks. So I'm taking my time working on it slowly. It'll be months before I finish either one of them, but they're slowly coming along.
That's fantastic. There's a lot of good fan films out there, and there's always a good opportunity if you present it well and you raise enough money. Perks can add a lot to a campaign, like really solid perks. Perks go a long way with campaigns where you could surprisingly do more than you'd think you'd be able to do going off like a basic script, or not a basic script, but a fan script. If you give them like what you just explained, where it sounds cool. I mean, that sounds really cool. The fact, like with Jacob, what happens after he's born, and he has those memories. I really like that,
It's
where
just
it connects with part 5.
it's stuff I hadn't seen. Like I'm a unapologetic fan of these fan films. There's a one called Scream Legacy that just came out that I think is phenomenal. There's a bunch of really good fan films out there, but I have not, and I've seen a lot of Nightmare fan films. But I've never seen anything that focuses on those characters. So I thought it would be something different that I haven't seen at this point. And I've seen no fan films with the Firefly family. Maybe
No,
they're out there, but I have not seen any of them. So
I haven't seen it either, and I haven't seen anything that is a sequel to the part 5, which I think, like you said, actually has a really interesting story to it that could be told, that it kind of got forgotten, and that's
yeah,
unfortunate because they're like you said, with fan films, and that kind of idea you have going is definitely interesting and a really cool twist. I don't know if I'm cutting out, or am I cutting out? I'm not cutting out here, but it looks like I am on my computer, which doesn't say much. Let me see if I'm cutting out on the screen. No, it doesn't seem like I'm cutting out on Facebook. So
no, I see. Hear you fine. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Camp Crystal Cabin 6 is here. My good friend will be with me at Spookala in the next few weeks. He makes awesome hawks. My buddy Patrick from Have Cheatable View is here, and also Tom. Oh my God, why do people have these names I cannot pronounce? Gebhardt. I hope I'm saying that right. But Tom, if you if you're still here and you just click on the allow on this link, it says uh, StreamYard Facebook. It'll let me see your name, so I can actually respond to other than Facebook user, which I get why they do it to protect people, but it's tough when you're looking at StreamYard. Um, but yeah, greetings, Cheetah. Good to see you, buddy. It's feels like it's been a while since I've run into you and talked to you. I gotta speak to Cheetah. Get Patrick on for a sit down too in the future. He does a lot of what we do, sit downs and interviews and stuff like that in
Cool.
the indie community. Yeah, he's got a solid channel. He's had some really great guests too. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think the indie fan films are great, and I'm I love seeing them, especially just different fans' takes. There's so many different stories, so many different ideas, and it being fan fiction, it's I don't know. I find it a lot of entertainment in it, like things you'd never think of as a fan that somebody else did, and you just kind of see it through somebody else's eyes, which I enjoy a whole bunch.
Yeah, I didn't know for the longest time they even existed. I mean, I know people have always gone out in their backyard and shot with their friends or whatever, but a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into these things. Like I said, I'm going to keep talking about the Scream Legacy fan film because it's, I think, phenomenal. And they put the music from Scream in there. They got the mask right. They got the feel right. It just feels like an hour-long Scream movie. And there are some out there that turned out not so great, but even those are fun because these people put a lot of time and effort into them and a lot of money into them to try to
Exactly.
get
Yeah.
this stuff out there.
I can find appreciation into somebody just putting the effort in. Whether I like it personally or not, the fact that somebody's taking the time to do it and really um, putting that heart and soul into it, I love it. I gotta appreciate it. It's something that, like you said, some are better than others, but if you look at it through a certain lens where you get it, it's not on a multi-million-dollar budget. It's made by fans for fans, and try to at
Right.
least appreciate what they're trying to put out for people to do. Some are hits, some are missed. Like I've seen some that I love. Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow. I really enjoyed that, and to see even old cast from the films coming back and being in it, like Tom Matthews and also Jason Rising was a lot of fun. Roseblood, all of them have a lot of a fun factor to it. Devo, how you doing? Everybody being here is really cool to see everybody's. Chris Callie, I just want to say hi to everybody. Your dad's here. He says you're his favorite son. Francis, your dad Francis, I'm taking it. Your dad's here. He's in
Mine?
the chat. He's on. Yeah, yours.
Oh,
Francis. He
Francis is
said this.
my mother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Francis. But I think that's really cool that your mom showed up and supporting you. What got you into horror?
So, she's not gonna probably like me telling the story, but sorry, mom, it's the way it happened. I was a little kid. I was probably about 4 or 5. I'm trying to. I think Nightmare 4 came out in '88, so I would have been 4. And my mom and dad were going to see it one night, and my dad's a big horror fan. So was my mom, but my dad was really the one that kind of got me into it as a kid. And they were going to see it, and I begged and begged and begged and begged and begged to take them for them to take me with them, even though I knew I was probably too young to see it. Eventually, I just like because I was honestly a good kid for the most part, so I kind of got what I wanted because I was always pretty good. And so finally they wore down. They said, "All right, we'll take you. You'll probably sleep through most of it anyway because it was a later show." And my mom was like, "You're sitting in my lap, blah blah blah." So I did, and I made it through the movie. There's a couple of moments in the movie that I remember scaring me, like Freddy's glove coming out of the ground when he first comes back to life. And when it ended, I remember leaving the theater. Like this memory is like steered into my head, going, "I made it. I'm alive. It really is just a movie." And from that
Yeah.
point on, I was able to I was nothing. None of them scared me at that point anymore. Like I pretty much just loved them. I fell in love with them and have to this very day.
Well, my parents were kind of like they didn't mind me watching any horror movie or anything like that, but God forbid there was some boobs in it. The boobs were the problem. Once there were boobs in the movie, it was all over. Mom, I remember because it was VCRs would be out, and even like in the Terminator, we'd watch it, and then the Sarah Connor, Kyle Reese thing, you'd see the old where she recorded over it. Always screwed it up because it wasn't a perfected technique, especially by her.
Well, I was surprised they let me watch it after that, not because of the horror, but like you said, because in Nightmare 4, there's that great waterbed sequence where the chick's like the girl's up on the poster, and then
Yeah.
Joey falls asleep and dreams, and she ends up in his waterbed, and she's topless, gorgeous
Yep.
woman, topless, with her boobs up against the top of his waterbed. I'm like, God, I'm surprised they let me watch it. The first time, obviously, they didn't know it was there, but they
Yeah.
like let me watch as many times as I wanted to after that. So they trusted me. I think was the biggest thing. They trusted me to know that it's just a movie, and so
The, yeah, the only thing my mom would let me, the only movie my mom would let me watch where there was boob in it was Starman with Jeff Bridges. Because it's a wonderful movie and a wonderful story. It makes it beautiful. It's beautiful. She'd tell everybody to come over. Yeah, normally I never let him see that. My mom's quite the character. But oh
the
man,
next
and
year
like I said, they didn't have a problem with horror. It was the nudity that was crossing the line.
my parents were awesome. Like I think I told you earlier, when we were texting that when I was like, I guess it would have been my sixth birthday because Nightmare 5 came out in '89. So my sixth birthday in '90 was with my family got me this life size Freddy Krueger stand up, and they were throwing what was supposed to be a surprise party for me, although I knew it was coming. And so when I walked in the front door, the only thing I didn't care about the rest of my family saying surprise or happy birthday. My eyes was like glued on this, 6 foot tall Freddy stand up, and I'm like,
That
oh, this
is
is the
awesome.
coolest thing ever. And I remember like hugging it and like taking pictures with it. I was so excited to have it. And then we moved a few years later, and it got lost. And I feel like crap now because it's probably would have been worth some money down the road too.
I'm sure. Yeah,
But
life regrets, man.
yeah.
Sorry, Vinny was asking to come on. Vinny, he ain't here. He messaged me, but I'm trying to look. Somebody is saying hi, John, and I think it's on my personal, so I got to say hi to them. And like I said, guys, you can always okay, you can always just click the StreamYard to allow it when it goes to see more. It doesn't say it on this one, does it? If you go to the Doomsday's Krypt, or even if you go to the YouTube channel, which is here, I can see what you say because all I see is, hey, John. And I love to see you guys' comments. And I can't. I'm not going to cry much. But that's what gets me multitasking because I want to give everybody a shout out. I love scary movies too. I don't know. It's just something that I've always like been drawn to, and it was such like I was an '80s kid. I'm older than you are. You said you're 38,
Mhm.
and that I see Cheetah. I'm going to be saying Phantasm too, and I might be going to Chicago for Flashback. I believe that's what it's called, Flashback horror convention, and Crypticon in September. So I'll be pretty busy. It's not just Kokala you're going to hear about because I'm going to that in a few weeks, and I want to make sure everybody in Florida goes to that. And I can't wait to see everybody there because I'll know quite a few people from other, from Phantasm that I met last year that are going too. So both those events I'm excited for in Florida. I get to see my family. I get to see friends I made. Spookala is going to be awesome. Phantasm is going to be incredible. I mean, hanging out with Beatrice Bupley, Amanda Kruger, and the fact that everybody's excited to see her and seeing her kind of get the love she deserves again. And people, and the way she's on
Yes.
social media, people love her to death. And she's probably one of the sweet, like I was telling you, one of the sweetest people I've talked to. So I can't wait for Phantasm. Actually, Phantasm, anybody who's a Fear Street fan, they just announced the killers for that. Thank you, Cheetah. Much appreciated, Patrick. That's going to be really cool. I just finally watched Fear Street. I got to say, the looks of the killer are really, really good. I love the looks of the killers. 78 was my favorite in the trilogy of it. I really like the Nightwing, the Nightwing slasher. I want to say that's what his name is. But all of them had really, really cool looks. Oh,
I
thanks, Chris.
haven't gotten to see those yet. I'm kind of behind on my horror series. I haven't watched any in quite a while because I had a lot of stuff going on around here, and I just haven't like I like to like sit down and watch it, and not just kind of catch an episode here or there. I want to kind of just sit down and watch the whole season. So I haven't
Well,
or a whole series
it's a
or
3-part
series.
movie. Yeah, like a 3-movie thing.
Right.
It's interesting. I hadn't watched it yet either. It was it was it was pretty. It wasn't bad. I mean, I don't want to say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 78 because it reminded me more of the classic horror at the campground and all that other stuff. The
Mm.
first one has a scream twist to it. It's got I don't want to say too much about it. It definitely draws from history, especially when it leads up to it with the Salem witches and stuff. So there was a lot of really, really cool things, and I loved the looks of it. I think that's what I liked most was the looks of all the killers. So the fact that they're going to be there is really cool to me. Like I'm really excited to see them, and those are going to be really cool guests. Trick or Treat Studios is doing the masks for it. I just saw they're going to release the Fear Street mask, so I'm going to have some of my friends rehaul it, and that'll be pretty sweet to see what some of my friends will do with them, because like I said, they're good looks. I mean, the 78 kind of has the sackhead Jason, but it's a really cool look to it.
I love the sackhead Jason. I'm not even gonna lie. That's probably like I understand everybody loves the iconic hockey mask, and I'm not knocking the hockey mask at all.
Yeah,
It's amazing. But the potato sack, I call him potato sack Jason
yeah,
from
yeah.
Friday 2 was phenomenal. I love the look of it.
I do too. I think I've grown to love it more and more and more every time I see it.
It's just so creepy. It's that one eye sticking out is just creepy. So
Yeah. I think it's underappreciated. I do get the hockey mask. It definitely, but then again, back in the day, a hockey mask, it wasn't like the merchandising was what it is today, where I could see the hockey mask being big sellers like they are today, which, even Camp Crystal Cabin 6, he makes some amazing hawks, but you see all these cool ones out there. But the sackhead, it's, yeah, like you said, it's just a creepy look with the one eye. I was, what was it? Camp Crystal Lake Memories. I'm watching that. It's on, oh, I can't remember. There's so many channels I have. I can't remember if it's Tubi or Shutter, but I do love Tubi. Yeah, this the Sackhead in part 2. I think that's become one of my top 5 favorite looks. Part 3, part 7 are like tied. I really like Uber Jason, but Sackhead Jason might be right there with it.
I'm happy to hear you say that, because I thought I was one of the only people in the world that liked Uber Jason, but I thought Uber Jason was so freaking cool. And when I get told that, people are like, "Oh, that's horrible." No, I thought it was cool as hell, man. I really did.
I don't care what people say. I even like, my God, part 5, Jason.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of every single one of the Jasons. There's movies except for Jason Goes to Hell, but there are some fan films that are cool sounding, that are sequels to it that they're doing. I got a few friends that are doing that I know that are doing like sequels to 8, and the concept sounds really cool. One is Freddy versus Jason, Dreamscape, and I was talking about that the other day, and it's a cool concept. It's not a sequel to Jason versus Freddy, the movie they had. It's more of a Freddy versus Jason from part 8, which is a cool concept for me. You know how the glove came up and did it. But that's the only one I struggle watching, just because there's not enough Jason for me, and I wasn't a big fan of the way they did that. And even part 8's grown on me. I didn't love it when I saw it in the theater, and it definitely has its faults, but I enjoy it, and I actually like Jason X. I can sit there and watch it. There's some cool kills. There's some decent moments. I love part 5. A lot of people hate part 5, but that's one of the movies I can watch.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the mindset with part 5. Like, I guess I kind of get where people are coming from, but as far as I'm concerned, until he drops at the end and the mask falls off, you don't know that you don't have Jason for the entire movie.
No.
It feels like Jason for 90 something minutes, and then for 2 seconds there's a shot of somebody else's face, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's not Jason." It really was Jason for an hour and a half. Like, I'm with you. I love part 5. I think it's highly
I thought it was
underrated.
funny. I think there was some funny scenes. It was a good mix of comedy. I mean, if you're gonna take, the thing is, Friday the 13th was always kind of, it was scary in its own ways, but it was, they never had these sequels planned out. I mean, they didn't know they were gonna do it, so it wasn't like they wrote this story like, all right, we're gonna write part 1, and then we're gonna have Jason in part 2, and then we're gonna go with part 3 and go with a bigger Jason, and we'll do it in 3D. And they kind of thought that was going to be the last one. Then it's like, all right, we're going to do the final chapter, and then part five, they didn't intend zombie Jason. I do think they could have used the Tommy twist more, and I wish they kind of built off of that. But part six was the first that I saw, so there's a real nostalgia for number six. And plus, CJ Graham was hilarious, and he still looks like he could wreck a house playing Jason. That dude is a stack for 64. He might be 65 now, but that dude could still play the role. And I actually talked to him at Krypticon when we were there. I was there with Fourscore, and yeah, he was such a good dude. He's like, I don't know if I'd do all the stunts anymore, but I'd definitely don the mask again. And let some younger guy do some of the stunts, like the hard falls, because he's like, it hurts that falls, Jason. It hurts.
Yeah. He's we've gotten really lucky here in Arkansas the last few years because I don't get to travel that much to go to other cons. Like I went to Texas Frightmare once. That's the only real con I've gotten to go to. But we got a thing called the Arkansas Comic Con, which just started up in like maybe 2018, so it hadn't been around for very long. But CJ Graham was here one year for it. I think in 2019 maybe or 20, he was here for it, and he's just a, like I said, a good guy. But he's kind of tall. He looks imposing. He looks like he could be imposing anyway. So I would love to see him wear the mask one more time. And
He said
Jason
there's a
Lives is
script
probably
out
my
there.
favorite.
Yeah, he said there's a part six sequel out there that he'd love to, if he was asked, he'd play it. Not the part seven sequel, but part six. What gets me, and I love Kane Hodder, don't get me wrong. I appreciate all the people who have donned the mask and played Jason. But CJ Graham was so good, I'm so surprised they didn't use him again. I meant to ask him that question, but I was kind of like, he was telling me about if he got into a bar fight and stuff. The guy was funny. Like, he just started, like, I got up there, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to have this sign and this sign. And he just started talking like we were old friends, which I thought was really cool. He's like, yeah, two things that are going to happen if I get into a bar fight. I mean, they're going to get their ass kicked by a senior citizen, or they're going to beat up a senior citizen. Either way, they lose. And it was just hilarious the way he said it. He was just talking about barroom brawls, just classic. I mean, that's what you expect. All right, this dude's a badass still. 64,
Yeah.
like I said, dude's a wrecking machine still. Yeah, and he's 64, but hell, man, I'm telling you, he could still dress up as like Jason, and you'd be like, damn, run.
Age is just a number at this point. I mean, I've seen
Yeah,
people that age going out doing crazy. It's like Nick Castle's in his late 60s, I think. He still played Michael Myers he at least played him for some scenes in the last two movies. So
well,
you never know.
Well, James Jude Courtney's in his 60s, and I didn't even realize he was actually in his 60s. I know he's playing. Yeah, that dude's in. You wouldn't know it. He's a pretty. I thought he was like a little bit older than me, but not much. Yeah, he's in his 60s, and yeah, he's a big dude. He made me feel short. I tried to do my mean face with picture with him. No, don't work.
So I just want to bring this out there because I think he's awesome. And anytime I talk to anybody I've never talked to, I want to throw it out there. It's been 5 years ago, but when I went to Texas Frightmare, a lot of the Nightmare 4 people were there. And Brooke Thies, who played the Debbie, the girl who turns into a cockroach, probably the coolest person, the celebrity I've ever gotten to meet in person. We talked for 20 minutes. She literally sat there and talked to me for there wasn't many people in her line, but she was not going to rush me off. Coolest, sweetest person I've ever met. So if you ever get a chance to meet her, if you haven't met her yet, she is so cool and such a nice person. And I always kind of throw that out there just because I want more people to know it.
Yeah, that's you'd meet those. I've been surprised by a lot. I was like, I didn't think they'd be as cool as they were, but they were really, really cool people. I'm going to Comic-Con and this weekend. I'm just going for one day with the guys I take care of. And one of the coolest people I met was DMC from Run DMC. He's a huge comic book fan, huge music fan as far as rock, rap. He loves it all, and was probably one of the nicest celebrities. Wrestlers are always the nicest celebrities. I've met some jerks though, and it was disappointing. The coolest guy was definitely Winkler, though. That dude is a legend. Henry Winkler, the Fonz. one of the
Oh
coolest
yeah,
people you
okay,
ever
okay.
meet. But Henry Winkler's the top of my list as far as like Comic Con meeting, not horror related. Um, and DMC was definitely the second. And the wrestlers were always cool, but those are like the top two memories. I still talk about those two guys whenever I talk about going to an event because they were just kind, really kind to everybody, and you just see it. And there were others that I was so disappointed. I won't mention names, but there were some I was so disappointed in, man. It was too
I,
bad.
I will because because I was so excited about meeting him. But I've mentioned it twice already. Nightmare 4 is like probably my favorite Nightmare movie because of the memory of going as a kid and things like that. So that day I had a poster that a girl I was dating like bought for me, and it was the Nightmare 4 official movie poster. And I was like, I'm gonna get it signed by everybody that's there. That was my plan, my goal for going. And so Brooke Thies was amazing. Lisa Wilcox was awesome. Tuesday night was okay. Andres Jones, who played Rick, I don't know if he was just having a bad day that day or what it was, but he was an absolute jerk. Like that was the one guy that when I left that day, I got to meet Kane Hodder, who was cool as hell. Got to meet a whole bunch of Heather Langenkamp, but meeting Andres Jones because I love that character in the movie, and I was so excited to meet him. And I'm a big Saved by the Bell fan. I remember from Saved by the Bell when I was a kid too. So this is like a childhood thing. And he was such like a just kind of a jerk. You know, he
That's
kind of just
unfortunate.
yanked my money out of my hand and signed it real quick. It's like, there you go. And Alice had wrote, or Lisa Wilcox had wrote, Alice Lives on hers. So he looked
Yeah,
at me and said, Rick dies. And then just kind of shoved it back in my face. And I'm like, you know, I didn't say it. I just kind of walked off. And I'm like, man, this is
yeah.
kind of
That's
crappy.
disappointing. That's disappointing to hear. Yeah, you hope it's a bad day on some of these people, but what are
Yeah,
you gonna do? You know, these fans are spending good money to out of their pocket to support. If it wasn't for the fans, none of this would happen. Yeah,
exactly.
most celebrities get that. I mean, even I've listened to Tom Savini talk about it, where he loves the convention so much it kind of gave him a. I watched his documentary and stuff like that, where you hear him say how much they appreciate, how much the fans, that these conventions, that the fans like care so much about everything they're doing. Kind of spit in the face of a fan. I don't care if you're having a bad day or not. These people are paying their hard-earned money, and for some people, it's their first chance, and you're just ruining that whole memory. It doesn't look bad on the fan; it looks bad on them, and it's a shame when a celebrity does that. I mean, luckily enough, I've only met a few that were kind of like, and it wasn't at horror conventions. Everyone that I've met that was a bad experience was Comic Con. I think some of them are just really angry that they're at like conventions. They frown on it. It's kind of like a movie star going and doing a TV show back in the day in the 80s. That just didn't
Yeah.
happen. It was kind of, they look at it as a step down, and it's really not like that anymore. Conventions is a great way for these people to make consistent money and interact with the fans and really get them to appreciate them even more than they already did. You got a chance to do something special, and that stuff travels. Yeah, especially with the internet. The ones who are cool are the ones that people will clamor to and love even more, and the ones who can be jerks and other people have had experiences like that it hurts them and they're missing out. So what are you gonna do?
I was really nervous because one of the guys I wanted to meet was Mitch Pileggi, who plays, of course, Skinner on the X Files. But for me, Shocker, Wes Craven's Shocker, is the reason I wanted to meet him because it's one of my favorite
Yeah,
Wes Craven movies. And I was nervous to meet because he's a huge, like he's got to be 6'4", 6'5", big guy. But one of the sweetest guys I've ever met, like super nice, like again, just like Brooke Thies made me feel like I was, important or something that day. So, Andres Jones didn't sour me or anything, and I still think maybe it was just maybe he was just having a bad day. I just kind of wanted to
it
throw that
could
out there too
be.
because it's still like it does sit with me every once in a while. Like every once in a while, it pops into my head especially when I'm watching the movie or something. I'm like, that was kind of a bad day, but you know, maybe it was just a bad moment or something.
Well, you hope so. Hopefully next time if you ever run into them at an event, it's a totally different experience. Sometimes people learn from it. And hello,
Yeah.
Shangy, good to see you, my friend. Handsome host, I appreciate that. That's kind. Makes me feel special. I do appreciate it. But man, so what's going on with your podcast? What do you got planned? I know how you know, I was the same way. I wasn't doing it consistently. I was doing it when I could. Now I've just kind of forced myself to go. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I found my perfect schedule that I can do it.
Let's see, I have a my wife works a lot, and we have two little ones that I'm kind of the one in charge of at the moment. So it's literally trying to find time when they're either asleep or they go to their grandmother's a lot. So when they're either at their grandmother's or they're in bed, and I can get people on because I really don't want to just do I find myself boring. Like I don't want to just be the only one there just talking. Like I did the couple of shows where I reviewed movie, like did countdown of movies and stuff. But other than that, I just try to bring people on whenever we can. So I've had a few interviews, and I've got a few more scheduled for the future, but no specific dates yet.
Oh, nice. Listen to that 3D printer. He's working hard. What's up, Vinnie? I don't even know. Oh, hey, what's up, brother? He's the one who's the.
I've been backstage for 3 days. What are you doing?
I didn't even see it. Well, you know, you'd think the Monster Energy drinks would keep me on my toes, but they don't.
That's what's messing you up, man. I told you, man. They use that shit for paint stripper.
Well, it's stripping my brains of cells. But yeah, Vinny's the guy who does a lot of the big stuff that I've shown you, Aaron. He's working on some cool stuff. He did the Kokala, which will be coming to the next event to Spookala.
Oh, Okala.
Hey. Oh, what's up? Oh, there you go.
I got all your
the rails, huh?
Man, these were a pain in the ass. These
well,
were.
Now
I tried to do them all as one piece, but it just wouldn't print. And I'm like, okay, so I had to keep cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. So it's in like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 parts, 10 or 12 parts. But it's fine though, because it'll be easier to paint. Because you know how they got the different colors, it's not all white.
Yeah.
Like the original, you know what I'm saying? They got the little purples and the reds and shit. And so it'll be easier to paint and then put together. But man, what a pain in the ass, man. I was getting frustrated.
Well, you had the same problem with the Kokala.
Yeah, because, with the stairs.
Yeah. Well, now you're learning. I think, and it probably makes it easier to adjust it when it's in pieces, where it's not one piece and anything that's slightly off just throws the whole thing off, right?
Well, I'm used to printing like stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like stuff like this, but this is in 12 pieces. I had to cut this up into 12 pieces in order to print it. But I'm used to big stuff. It's the little stuff. I gotta tweak the settings in the program to print small stuff. It's set right now to print the bigger shit. But when you're trying to print the small pieces, it's you gotta set it in the program Cura. You gotta tweak it, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to do that. You know what I mean? I mean, this is all new to me, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You got your second 3D printer now.
Yes.
You're ready to go. You gonna decorate it like the other one? His other one's cool. He put a green. Any guess, Aaron, on what he's making with those rails?
No. No. What is it?
Oh, should we give it away? Do you want to give away what it is?
Yeah, you could tell him, man. It's cool.
Well, we're working on something that hasn't been done for Spookala, or at least I haven't seen done yet. It's a Halloween Kills.
A lot of the shit I do hasn't been done. You know that.
Well, yeah, but this I've seen. You know, this is like like with the Kokala. I've never seen somebody do something like that.
I've never seen one of those either.
But he's doing. Why don't you tell him what you're making? Tell everybody what you're making for
the Big John, Little John house. The Myers house from
okay.
Big John, Little John. It's going to have him in the window from the end of the movie standing upstairs. All the windows are going to be all lit up with curtains and stuff. And so hopefully I can get it done. Cool. Yeah, it'll be different. It'll be different.
Did you see the Kokala radio station? You got that handy? That's a pretty cool
Yeah,
piece. You'll like it. You were saying you like those the pieces behind me, but he does a lot of the big ones that I get done.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Right? And it'll have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 Leatherface over it with a bust. I think you making a bust with it with the mask on it. I can't remember.
I don't know if I'm going to even bother right now. You know what I'm saying? Concentrate on
you.
Those rails set me back, man.
Yeah.
On that Big John, Little John house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I still got to do a bust for that.
Yeah, I'd say concentrate on that, especially now that Bob Elmore ain't coming. If Bob Elmore was going to be there, it'd be different. I was so bummed out. I got Vinnie making this piece. We're all excited for Bob Elmore from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and he wound up canceling.
I know that's so. Well, I wanted to make one of those anyway. Eventually, it was in my plans to make one of those.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome piece. And there's still Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans that are going to be there. So they're going to look at it and be like, hey, Bob Elmore isn't here, but Kokala's there. You know?
Well, you said that what's her name might be at Phantasm, right? So
maybe. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
For then.
That would be.
All you got to do is just stick the pole in. You know what I'm saying? You know how
that would be cool, but I don't know on that one. You know, I know they've been there before, and that would be really cool.
Well, I got to get you a bust anyway, so.
Yeah. Yeah, let me know if you need anything, too, because I know you're cranking stuff out. I could always pick up that shirt that I... Well, I'll just grab those... I'll grab that shirt that I saw, and I'll send it to you. Get it out there. I'm just going to grab it tomorrow.
Because I got one set of coveralls left, and they're actual, the Sears... accurate coveralls.
Yeah, I don't want you to rip those up. No. Just
for, from here up.
Yeah, well, you saw what I had. It has the zipper. I'm sure, other than the pieces on the side, but I'm sure you.
Yeah, I can cut that off. Plus, there's going to be burns and shit on it. So
yeah, I'll grab it. I'll grab it tomorrow and just get it out to you. So it's just one less thing to worry about.
It's all in the collar, man. As long as the collar stays.
Oh,
up.
it's a good. That's the thing it's a really good thick collar. So that's
and it can't come to points. You know what I'm saying? It's got to come straight.
Yeah, it should be good. I showed you the picture of it. I think it'll work. If worst comes to worst, I don't care if you get it and it doesn't look good. I'll get a Trick or Treat Studio Kills out there. I don't care. I want that because that's going to be a big piece. That's especially now that Elmore is not going to be there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll do the bust after because I still got to get you a bust anyway.
Yeah.
For the radio station.
Right.
So I'll just do it after all of this shit is done. I want to get this Big John, Little John house done. I want to get the bust done. I still got to put a light on that.
Yeah, look at that collection, huh? Let me put you up on the solo screen. You want to see some of this stuff that he's got, Aaron? Being a horror fan?
Yeah.
Everybody's already seen this shit about 100 times. They're probably tired of it.
I don't think so. Oh, and that dock's beautiful. You know where that looked good? In my possession. Which we already know that's coming.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that piece. I put off getting it. I do love that leather face though too. God,
that's the leather face. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a model.
Yeah, I remember when you touched up the paint job on it, and you did the same thing with the Freddy.
The whole thing. I wasn't happy with it how it looked, so I repainted. I took it all apart, redid it, and repainted it.
Oh, nice. I love the Freddy, too, until you get close to its face. I hate the mold that they used for his face. You should almost chop it up and 3D print it again.
That's another Screaming model. That's around the same time as this model came out. Late 80s, early 90s. But the company went out of business. This is what I was doing today. I was putting all of this shit up.
Man, the other Myers boxes.
I told you. You think I got a collection? Vinny's got a collection and a half. I love just looking at it too. I figured you'd appreciate. Oh, I didn't even realize you had a Victor Crowley.
I had a what?
A Victor Crowley.
Oh yeah, that's signed. That's signed by Kane Hodder, Adam Green, and John Carl Beekler.
That's sweet.
Before he died, before John Carl Beekler died, I got his autograph. He didn't look good, man.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I think we talked about that a little while ago. You were talking to me about
I
that.
got pictures of them with me.
That's right. You did. I did know you have. Oh, there's a pumpkin head.
That's what you
I
need,
need
man.
more
Oh,
pumpkin head in my
sweet.
life. Yes, yes. I need more
That's what.
pumpkin head in my life. Look at the
We
Reagan
all
too.
need more
Oh my
Pumpkinhead.
God. I
See,
figured you'd like this, Aaron.
it doesn't do it justice, man. The size, that thing's almost 2 feet tall.
That is cool.
And this, I'm going to be doing these hopefully soon. 2 versions, that version and then one with the scars.
Oh, the Reagan.
Yeah,
Oh man, I'd definitely be all over. That would sell so fast if you did some of those.
I wish I could get to it to light it up, man, because it looks awesome when it's lit.
Yeah, that is
You
just
know,
so badass. I figured Aaron would like this. We were talking about you. That's why I invited you. He's a horror fanatic. He has a horror podcast too, and I
you
could look
can't
at
see
Vinny's collection all day.
you can't see what's in there unless it's lit up. It sucks. I got all kinds of shit, man. I got Lon Chaney.
It's just insane.
I got shit down here.
The Kukurata Museum. Yeah, and you found those cool things you sent me pictures of today.
What's
What
that?
are they? I mean, cabinets. The Danielle Harris, the Felissa Rose, and the what's the other one you showed me? The Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, the Danielle Harris is a light box.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
cool
down
as
here.
hell.
You can't even see it because I put this damn table in here so I can work. But I rearranged this whole corner yesterday because I dug out all my shit from under the table because it got way too packed.
Yeah.
And I need room. And then that's where I found a lot of these boxes. I said, "Oh shit, here's where they are, man! All these
You should
boxes."
send that. You should send that Sam. I'll get him signed for you.
Yeah, I'm afraid it would break though, man.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm gonna keep you guys on for a sec. I have to run upstairs for a minute. A certain individual I hear.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta go check on him real quick. But
who
I'm
is
gonna
it? The
put.
broom?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
put it back on the split.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'll give Aaron if you want. We'll let you do your host thing for a little bit. Ask Vinny any questions you want about if things that you might be interested that he does, especially being a huge horror fan. You get to take over Aaron for a few.
There you go. Good, he's gone. Now we can talk about him.
Yeah. Man, what a jerk. What a jerk, right?
Yeah, right?
No, man, your stuff is awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I say your stuff's awesome. How long have you been doing that stuff?
Oh, since I was a kid, man. Since I was a little kid in the 60s. It all started with the original Aurora models. The Universal models, the Auroras. It all started with that. When I was a little kid, and if I saw how they look now, when I built them then, I'd laugh. But if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have opened them.
Right.
Because back then we were buying them for like 98 cents. It's basically, let me see if the flashlight might make glare. It's basically all of these models. But these aren't Aurora. These are like polar lights and stuff, but they're made from the same molds. It's not the same, but you know. But it's nice to have been able to get. I got those back in the 90s. It's nice to have been able to get them so you can have them and build them again and have them in your collection. But I would much rather have the originals still in the box.
Yeah, it's like you said, stuff if you knew then what you know now. Like I had stuff from when I was a kid that, looking back, like John and I were talking about earlier, I had this life-size Freddy Krueger stand-up that I got for my birthday that I'm sure now would be worth, not a ton of money, but I'm sure it'd be worth something that I just lost when I was moving.
Yep.
But
I used to get those from a video store.
Yeah, I think that's probably where my parents got this one. Was probably from the video store.
Yeah, because when VHS first came out, when VCRs were $600, I knew these people that opened a video store. They were married, a husband and wife. They were both named Ronnie, and they had a nice little video store. It was really cool, and I used to ask them all the time for the stand-ups when the like when a new movie came out, new Freddy or something, they'd have the stand-up advertisement,
Mhm.
and I would ask them for it. I had a Freddy, and I don't remember what the other one was that I had, but they got ruined in my basement. I bought a house, and the real estate agent told me, "Oh no, the basement doesn't leak." Yeah, it leaked. It flooded. I lost a box full of Fangoria books. I wasn't happy, but
Yeah,
it,
I'm pretty
it was
sure I'm pretty sure when we moved, like I got it for my 6th or 7th birthday, so I'm pretty sure a few years later my parents divorced and we moved, and when we moved, I'm relatively sure that it just got lost in the move somewhere. Maybe it got
yeah.
tore up, or the parents, my parents didn't want to tell me that it got tore up and just disappeared.
It
Well,
got split in the divorce.
Split it.
Yeah, that's probably true. You take half, I'll take
Yeah, that's all. Which half do you want?
half.
Well,
Yeah,
we got
it's like, what's that?
did you tell? Well, we got plans for something for Phantasm.
Who does?
We do,
What? Tell me.
because you were talking about you already know.
I know, I'm just fucking with you, man.
You better get busy. You got that 3D printer. I hear it running.
I got 2 of them running.
I know. How many do you have now? 3 or 4? 5?
3. 5. I gave the old lady one. I kept one. I'm actually printing parts for hers now because she's doing hers in black and yellow. So I'm actually
cool.
printing the parts for hers now. And then I have another one that the guy threw in. I paid $60 for 2 of them, but the guy threw in another one for free. He said, just take it. And it's a basket case, man. All the wires were hanging out. I don't have time to try to rebuild it, rewire it. I got too much shit going on with this, man.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I'm
it's
saying?
been keeping you busy, man.
Building 3D printers now.
I usually talk to Vinnie like every day, but now he's got his 3D printer. He has no time for anybody but his 3D printers. He's in love.
You know what I'll do? I'll print myself, and I'll sit it in front of the camera.
Yeah. and put a little mechanism on it so it's just shaking its head and nod like it's agreeing. That way I can never say anything wrong.
Exactly. You're an asshole, and I'm going to go like this.
Well, you do that anyway, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Hey, we're Northeast guys. I mean, we have to be at times. It's just in our blood.
Yeah, I can tell where you are.
Yeah.
Just by the background.
Yep. Well, yeah. It's so much more fun to do live streams here. But I'm working 2 houses now, but I'll be here now. I got a schedule when I get back anyway, because I'll be on the road soon. But I'll be here Friday, Saturday, Sundays. And those will be 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time streams, and then during the week that'll be the 8 p.m. at the other place I'm at. So
when you do it from the bedroom, you're at that other house, right?
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
But that's where 8 p.m. works out good, because it's just, I know the time schedules now. I know here everybody's, other than, every once in a while here's something and I got to go check. But for the most part, I know everything's calm at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The broom upstairs, man. He's running shit. You know that.
He's sweeping the kitchen.
Yeah, the broom is running it, man. He got you covered.
Yeah, we're going to Comic-Con Sunday.
Where's that?
In Kansas City.
Oh, all right. A little too far.
Gonna meet Ralph Macchio. Karate here.
You gotta come up, man. You gotta come up for Connecticut Horror Fest, dude.
I'm gonna get to the East Coast for a event soon.
We'll chill in the camper, man. We'll get some beers and shit. We'll sit in the camper.
Oh, hell yeah. It'll definitely be in the plans. The best I could say, if there's something in October and things go well at Spookala, Phantasm, Crypticon, and I'm probably going to do that Chicago event. I don't know. I kind of hate stopping in Chicago. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the Chicago event, but I imagine it'll be at a decent place, and as long as there's secure parking and stuff, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
And it'll be a smaller table than usual. I'll just probably bring, because a lot of my stuff I'm just going to leave in Florida until I come back in August. But I'll take some of my Freddy stuff since it's going to have Robert Englund there, and
don't leave it at your parents' house because your mother will start setting your shit up.
she'll start running it over with the scooter.
Yeah, no, she'll turn it into a museum. The house, she'll start charging admission.
Dude, she gets so excited about it. Like when I was there the last time, I think I sent you all the pictures. She decorated the whole thing. I had to put up the Crouchy Clown, and all the animatronics. My father was big into it too, man. He was digging the animatronics.
I was looking at the pictures, and I was like, "Look at John. He's unboxing everything, setting it up, only to put it back in the boxes to bring it."
Well, it was insisted on. So
I know what I'm saying though.
But it helped me get practice. I've gotten really good at tearing stuff down and setting it up real fast now on my own. Honestly, I know where everything's going to basically go, except like some of the new pieces. So my setup I have done. Even like when I set up for Halloween, it didn't even take me that long to bring everything upstairs, set up out in the garage, and do that. I just gotta, where it would have taken me a few hours before, I can get it done in no time. I mean, I'm talking a few hours because I'd sit there and be like, "Oh, this is overwhelming." Where now it's just, I know.
You better make room because you got a lot of shit coming.
Oh, I know. Mike's got a bunch of stuff.
Shit coming from.
I got I got stuff coming.
Well, Jesse's stuff is okay because it's rubber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can.
I got a few things, but yours is the big stuff. Yours is the stuff that's gonna take a lot of space. Like the Kokala and the Big John, Little John. But that's how it usually goes. And then they're gonna have the Friday 13th area where I'll have Mike sit at the table because I got a 20 by 20 at Spookala.
Oh, Mike's going?
Yeah, Mike will be there, and he's so I'm gonna have the Friday 13th. I'm gonna put the dock over there and stuff, and then I'll have the probably a Leatherface side, and then the Michael Myers. So it'll be, and then loose stuff. It's gonna be a lot. There's a lot, and there's a lot being sent, and there's gonna be a ton of art. Michael Toth has got art. I got that exclusive that I showed Vinnie that Straka did. That's gonna be, and I got the loot boxes. I'm hoping to drop in by Phantasm, which is gonna be a lot of work to try to get done, but that'll be really cool. I'm really excited about putting that on because
I was gonna send you this possibly to get signed.
That'd be great, dude. I got you. That's fine. And you know how much JJC loves your work, so I'm sure he'll be honored to.
That and the coat.
Oh yeah. Anything you want,
sign it that. Orange, that would be cool.
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
I wish I would have thought about this coat when you went to Florida.
Yeah, with Castle there. Yeah, that was 78 stacked.
Yeah, it could have had everybody on this, and if they all signed it in orange, because it's highlighted in orange. It's got the pumpkin on the back with the knife and shit, and it says 78.
I've been so lucky with that though too, because
just don't sell it.
Because I had the Michael Myers set up with Krypticon because we had the Myers house, the other bust, and the pumpkin, and Myers is my ultimate favorite. Cheetah, don't you say a word, Patrick. He's my dude. Like Myers has always been like my favorite. I love all of them. I love Freddy. I love Jason and everything. But I got my Myers collection. I think I got enough Myers for a little while. I just got to get some different masks. I wish I never sold my Part 6 because I love the Curse mask. But I do have a Part 4 mask coming from Daniel Cruz. I'll get all the other ones, even though I'm not a huge fan of like Part 5 look, the Nick Cage. And
you should. I mean,
I will. And I think, you know what? I don't like them in the movies, but the way people paint them and the way some of them are done, like yours, it looks so much better than in the movie. Yeah, those are great. I mean, I got the Rob Zombies. I got plenty of them.
4 of these are signed.
Yeah.
4 of those masks are signed.
Well, I got the Kills that was signed. That's stacked with signatures. Yeah. Oh wait, that's
Did you make those? Those Myers
Vinnie
masks?
made.
I'm
Vinnie
sorry?
did that Ash. Vinnie did all that. He painted. Yeah, that Myers mask he painted. That's signed by Castle and James Jude Courtney, and then the shirt signed by a lot of the '78 cast. And then he made not the mask, but that's a Mulpagano, but you can't see it too well. Let me unplug this. Hold on.
You got Sam in front of the house.
This, yeah, I gotta move shit around.
That shit out of there. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, I'm dropping shit. That's really cool when it lights up. That's the. And then we got the lamps. The lamp was really cool. I still got the Evil Dead lamp in the box. I love
You
that
haven't even
thing
opened
too.
it?
That thing. I have. I've opened it and taken it out, but where am I gonna freaking put it, dude? I was actually. I talked to my boss today. We're gonna open up the basement down here so we have more room and set up like a game room and also add to, because you know the other one's the big horror fan and stuff like that.
Let's do an addition.
Yeah, well, the basement's basically opened up. I'll leave some stuff in here, and we'll make it put a bed in there again. But then we'll open it up. We're gonna
Is
put
it
some of
cold
the.
down there?
Yeah, what's that?
Like temperature wise?
Yeah, it's where I am now. It stays nice and cool, which is good. It's moist but not too moist. You know, where it's good for the masks. They're not drying out, which is great. It's
You just
really
gotta
the
put it
perfect
on hold
temperature
on
in
the
the
paper.
basement. What's that?
You just gotta be careful with your posters and stuff. They'll start wrinkling up.
I don't care about the posters. I really don't. But they're fine. They're not. I've had them up there for a while now.
What are they
I'm
on
not.
card?
I get them cheap anyway. I still got a ton of them. I just picked up a whole bunch more too. I picked up some more of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre posters. I got the where's the other ones that
I got a ton of posters, man. They're still rolled up. I got no place for them, man. I got no place to hang them.
I hear you. Like my favorite poster's kind of hidden behind over underneath the Halloween one.
Yeah, see, you're getting like me. You're stacking shit in front of shit. I mean, it's the only way you can do it.
Well, with doing conventions, I gotta, it's just how it is.
Well, yeah, but you're in a small room like me. This is a small ass room.
Yeah, it's a 9x10, so I'm stuffed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at my table. I got that. Yeah. But it's an addiction. At least it's better than like a drug addiction, I guess. But at least it holds value.
Yeah, it goes up in value.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, man, and it's so much fun. And I got so much more coming. I even got my paintings down here. Like I got to find places to hang all this stuff. It's trying to find stuff to what to do with it is the hard part.
Using the ceiling.
Oh, what's that?
I'm about ready to start putting my posters on the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, I got boxes of comics down there. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, that's like me. I got boxes in my closet. Fangoria books and old magazines, old horror magazines from the 60s and 70s.
Oh, outside the door, I still got your clocks that you made, the coasters. I got drawers full of art and everything else. Yeah.
Well, bring that shit and sell it, man.
What's that? Oh, well, that's what I'm bringing. I'm planning on it. I was either going to throw some of them in. I got somebody making keychains, Thomas Bruce, which he's making some cool cheap items to get rid of. And I'm contemplating whether I want to put some of the stuff that's left over by you in loot boxes. If I do them, because
why not? Get rid of it, man.
That way it's on you. Well, I could sell it too there. Because I want, when I do the loot boxes, I definitely got to have, whether it's a 3D, we've talked about a few things. I don't want to give too much away, but because I want each person that's in the box, whether it's you, Michael Toad, Scott Straka.
Can't get too crazy with the prints because they take a while to do.
Yeah. Well, they'd be small, something small, Jesse Aaron's.
Like what we were talking about for Phantasm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That alone, just the head.
Yeah.
It's probably going to take 2 weeks to do.
Yeah. Well, at least we got months to do.
Well, I got to cut it up in pieces.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll talk more about some ideas. And like I said, I still got some. I mean, I got some really cool stuff. The only thing I'm afraid of, like putting like the clocks that I got into a box, is those are so temperamental that, not temperamental, but you know what I mean. They got banged up on the way to Phantasm last year because the hotel sucked.
It's
Yeah,
just like the mugs they smashed.
Oh, I felt so bad. My dad gashed himself, and he should have gotten stitches. And he's like, he didn't want to leave though. He was, you know, it would have sucked, you know, because he was really enjoying himself.
That's a horror.
And my dad,
you gotta have blood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely fit it. My dad is a saint. I swear to God, that dude is a saint. He had to, you know, take care of my mom in her own way. I talked to Anthony Greco on the phone, who's the promoter for Phantasm. You know, you can't have a conversation with anybody who's been at Phantasm without bringing up the famous scooter. And we still need to do something to set up that Goblin or something. Almost need like a stereo playing the Jaws tune and put a Jaws face on the
yeah. And if you can get it to do this as she's riding, that would be good. And put a camera in the mouth so you can get the teeth going from the inside, and you can see people's reactions.
I was trying to protect Anthony. I mean, like, are you going to bring like guardrails for the scooter so you can help me protect?
You got to bring guardrails for the tables.
Yeah, well, that's why I asked him. He's like, no, I'd have to bring them myself, so that'd get expensive. I figured he'd want to do that.
She'll blow right through them things, man.
Oh, it's legendary. It's funny though. She is. My mother is something. She's a wonderful lady. Don't get me wrong, but oh my goodness, she can drive a car, but she can't drive a scooter to save her life.
Well, because she probably figures it's legal to kill people with the scooter.
Johnny. She comes in, she just knocks over tables. What the, like looking at everybody else like it's their fault. It's like, what the hell are you trying to do?
What do you put that table in my way for? Setting your shit up in my way.
It was so embarrassing at the time because I'm like, oh my God, she's knocking over people's stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay for it. Luckily, she's like mad at me because she had a table. You know how moms get. What?
Yeah.
What? It's your fault. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have opened up the table and you could have helped me. I didn't even know you were coming through. You just barreled right through. Well,
if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know about this and wouldn't even be here.
It's all your fault. You brought me.
Has to be your fault, man. You know that.
But let's see. It is 10:30 for me, 11:30 for you guys. These streams can go on a long time, especially with all of us. Aaron, hey, man. Guys, subscribe to Aaron's channel. I got it all in the links. It's in the Facebook link. It's in the YouTube link. He's got a YouTube and Facebook channel. I'll definitely got to have you come on and hang out again, Aaron, for sure. Vinnie, you know, You'll be showing up out of the blue at any time, and you'll be hearing that 3D printer running. And I hope you enjoyed yourself, Aaron. I know it was kind of a surprise thing, and I figured you'd enjoy seeing Vinnie's houses of horror. And so if you ever you guys, like I said, make sure to check out Aaron. Super cool guy. I'm glad I got to know you a little better.
Same here, man. Thank you.
And I know you know channel? Jason.
The Horror Lives Here podcast.
I'm sorry, what was it?
The Horror Lives Here podcast.
Oh, I've seen that. Okay, all right. I've seen that.
And I have oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, let you have the floor so you can let anybody know any information about you and what you want them to know. Yeah, plug yourself.
I have a Twitter, but I honestly can't remember my freaking handle at this point because I never use it. I have Facebook, Aaron Wojhoski on Facebook, or you can just follow the Horror Lives Here podcast. YouTube, the link is down. He said the link is down below for the YouTube. And I really don't, like I said earlier, I don't have a specific time I do it or don't do it. I just whenever I get a chance to record and put shows up, it's when I do it. But this was awesome, man. Thank you for having me on your show. This is really cool.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. And I enjoyed having you. Like I said, I love having different people on to talk, whether it's podcasters, indie projects, actors, actresses, guys like Vinnie who do really special things, artists. I just enjoy the whole horror community. It's so cool to meet different people and hear what their thoughts are in the horror community and what their favorite things are. And hearing about your script, definitely work on that. I want to see that come to life, and you get that done, and you start a campaign. Well, Doomsday's Krypt will have you back and help promote it. And I know you know Jason Pitts too, so I want to
Yeah.
check out that interview. I started watching it, but I got super busy. But I can't wait to watch some more of your channel, some content. You're a fantastic host. Like I say, guys,
Thank you. I
check them
appreciate it.
out. All the links are in the description. Check out Doomsday's Krypt on Facebook. Check them out. Check me out on YouTube. Helps you guys if the ones watching on Facebook watch on YouTube for me. Try to hit 1,000 on YouTube. I'd love to see that. And let's support each other in the community and definitely check out Aaron W. I'm not going to say your last name. I can't do it. All right, guys. Everybody take care. Thanks again. And we'll see you tomorrow night. I have Michael McGuinn. So I can't wait to speak to him again. Peace out, everybody.
Good meeting you.
Good to meet you too. Thank you.